You can't escape it, right? Generative AI is everywhere. It's writing, it's making pictures, it's coding. It's completely taken over the conversation. But here's the thing, the tools we're all playing with right now, they're just the beginning. They're just scratching the surface. The real deep transformation, well, that's what's coming next. So let's look past the current hype and check out the 5-year forecast for where all this is really going. And honestly, this is the perfect way to think about it. The Ford Model T, it wasn't the fastest or the fanciest car, but it was the one that made cars accessible, real, and useful for everyone. It didn't just change transportation, it kicked off an entire industrial revolution. That is exactly where we are with generative AI today. We're at the very, very beginning of a huge shift. So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If we're just rolling the first Model Ts off the assembly line, what does the superhighway of the future even look like? We're about to break down the key trends that are shaping this future, from who's going to win and who's going to get left behind to how the very DNA of business is being rewritten. Okay, so the first thing you need to understand is this massive trend that's already taking shape, the Great AI Divide. The reality is not all industries are starting this race from the same line, and their digital history, how much they've already invested in tech, is going to be the biggest factor in determining their AI future. This really breaks down into two clear camps. You've got your early adopters, think e-commerce, finance. These guys have spent years getting their digital house in order. Their data is clean, their systems talk to each other, they're ready to hit the ground running. But then you have the slow starters, industries like agriculture or education that are still dealing with old-school analog workflows and messy, unstructured data. For them, there's a ton of homework to do before they can even join the race. And this isn't just a head start, It's a compounding advantage that's going to make that gap wider and wider over time. You want to see a perfect, real-world example of this divide in action? Just look at healthcare. You've got these cutting-edge hospitals with fully digital records, ready to innovate, literally down the street from clinics still using manila folders. That gap, it's about to become a canyon. And this is why it's such a big deal. For those healthcare groups that are digitally ready, new Gen AI tools, like ones that automatically take clinical notes, can save a single clinician around 70 hours a month. 70! That's almost 2 full work weeks. It's an absolute game changer for burnout and efficiency. Meanwhile, their neighbors stuck in the analog world, they can't even think about using these tools until they go through a long, painful digital upgrade. All right, next up, let's talk about how AI is literally rewriting the playbook for how businesses run. This isn't just about creating flashy new products. It's about changing the fundamental day-to-day stuff that makes a company tick. Think about all those essential but kind of boring parts of a business. Gen AI is turbocharging them. Customer service can now offer smart, personalized support 24/7. HR can automate sifting through thousands of resumes or create custom training for every employee. And all those admin tasks, processing expenses, summarizing meetings, poof, automated. For any business, this is a pretty low-risk, super high-reward place to start. But here's the thing. Automating the basics, that's just table stakes. The one-size-fits-all AI model is already becoming yesterday's news. The real power, the real money, is in specialization. And this is where things get really interesting. See, a general AI might get totally tripped up by a complex legal contract. But a specialized model that's been trained on millions of legal documents, it gets the nuance, the jargon, the specific compliance rules. Same for medicine, same for finance. This specialization gives you way better accuracy, keeps you compliant, and frankly, delivers a whole lot more value. So this whole move towards specialization, it's completely shaking up the marketplace for AI tools. We're seeing the landscape split into two very different but equally important types of players. Think of it like this. On one side, you have the giants, the Googles, Microsofts, OpenAIs. They're building the massive foundational power plants of AI, these huge general-purpose models. But on the other side, you've got this incredible explosion of specialists. Companies like Tempest Labs focusing on AI for medicine, or Sahabit AI building a model specifically for the Indonesian language. They take the raw power from the giants and fine-tune it to create amazing, specialized tools. And you can't talk about this market without talking about geopolitics. It's a huge piece of the puzzle. You've got this intense competition between US and Chinese tech giants to build the biggest and best foundation models. And in response, you're seeing places like the EU create their own rules, like the EU AI Act, to set standards and support local players. The upshot of all this? The game isn't just about who has the smartest AI anymore. It's about who you can trust. So there is so much hype around this stuff, right? A ton of money is flying around. But what's really fascinating is how the buzz around generative AI isn't just helping generative AI. It's creating a rising tide that's lifting all the other boats in the AI harbor. So, how does that actually work, this spillover effect? Well, it starts with a massive hype. Everyone sees these cool new tools and they want in. That attention drives this huge wave of investment. But, and this is the important part, that money doesn't just go to Gen AI projects. It ends up boosting the entire data and AI ecosystem. It's because when a company gets excited and says, we need generative AI, they very quickly realize, uh-oh, our data is a mess, our cloud setup isn't powerful enough, and we have no rules for this. So the journey to adopt the cool new thing forces them to invest in all the boring but essential stuff that actually helps all of their AI projects, not just Gen AI. Okay, so we've looked at the big trends, the divide, the new business playbook, the changing market. But what does all this actually mean for you? What should you do about it? Let's boil it down to 3 strategic moves you can make to get ready. Number 1, and this is non-negotiable, invest in your digital infrastructure now, yesterday. You cannot build a skyscraper on a shaky foundation. Number 2, go on a hunt. Find the most expensive, most mind-numbing, repetitive tasks in your business. That's your target. That's where you'll get the fastest and biggest bang for your buck with AI. And finally, number 3, don't treat AI governance like an afterthought. It has to be baked in from day one. Building trust and managing risk isn't optional, it's essential. At the end of the day, it really all boils down to this one simple question. The next, even bigger wave of AI is forming on the horizon. There's no doubt about it. The only choice is whether you're going to proactively build a surfboard to ride it, or just stand on the beach and wait for it to wash over you. The time to make that choice is right now.